After Japan's borders opened to foreigners at the end of 2022, I jumped at the chance to spend a month traveling through the country with my dad. We went to Nagasaki, Fukuoka, Yufuin, Osaka, Kyoto, Nara, Kobe, Kanazawa, and Tokyo. This video will walk you through our month-long travel itinerary and give you tips and things to consider as you plan your Japan trip. My YouTube channel and website, lifestylebyremi.com, offer travel vlogs and guides with more in-depth details about each location. This could easily be made into a 3-week itinerary by spending only 1 week in Tokyo instead of 2. There are some down days included which were meant for rest, laundry, and catching up on work. Without further ado, let's get into my 1-month Japan travel itinerary. Typically, when I travel to Japan, I fly into Haneda Airport. It's closer to central Tokyo, whereas Narita is located in Chiba, the next prefecture over. However, for this itinerary, we will fly to Nagasaki the day after we land in Japan. So, we arrived late afternoon in Narita, picked up our pocket Wi-Fi at arrivals, and stayed the night at the nearby ANA Crowne Plaza Hotel, which has a free shuttle to and from the airport. The next morning, we took a 2.5-hour flight from Narita to Nagasaki Airport. From the airport, we hopped on a bus shuttle that took us to Nagasaki Station, where we took a short taxi ride to our hotel near Glover Street. We checked into the hotel, had lunch there, and then explored Glover Street and Garden, located right next to the hotel. Later that night, we took a night walk by the port and had dinner at the local shopping center. On our first full day in Nagasaki, we took a morning stroll to a nearby coffee shop and then headed over to the Nagasaki National Peace Memorial Hall and Museum. Located next to the memorial is Peace Park. Spending time in Peace Park and the museums is essential to visiting Nagasaki. I was deeply moved by the experience and recommend ending your visit at the Peace statue so that you can end with a symbol of hope for the future. Gosh, I'm excited for that. After exploring the area near Peace Park, we ended our day at Japan's oldest Chinatown to eat Nagasaki's famous Chinese-influenced dishes, sara udon and champon. We were supposed to head straight to Fukuoka the next day, but we decided to spend a little longer in Nagasaki. I did not want to leave. What made Nagasaki so special was how slowed down and small town it felt to be there. Coming from Los Angeles, I always feel the hustle and go energy in the air. Nagasaki isn't as crowded as other major cities, so you can slow down and really take in your surroundings. Once we were ready to leave, we went to the JR Nagasaki station, picked up our JR passes, and reserved our Shinkansen seats. I definitely don't recommend booking last-minute Shinkansen tickets like we did, and I recommend booking at least a couple of days ahead of when you plan to travel. The route between Nagasaki and Fukuoka is less popular than the one between Kyoto, Osaka, and Tokyo. Since this trip happened before the JR Pass price increase, purchasing the 21-day pass was a cost-effective solution for us. However, I recommend using a JR calculator to determine whether a pass is worth it based on your route and travel timeframe. Fukuoka, the largest city on Japan's Kyushu Island, is a vital harbor city due to its proximity to China and Korea. Fukuoka is known for its fantastic food scene, impressive temples, museums, shopping, and access to beaches. We spent 5 nights in Fukuoka, took a 1-day trip to Yufuin, and spent 3 full days exploring the city itself. We arrived at Hakata Station around dinner time. so we ate dinner at the station after checking into our hotel. I highly recommend visiting Fukuoka during the wintertime for the holiday illuminations alone. The ones at Hakata Station were stunning and still one of the best station illuminations I've seen in Japan. I love riding the trains everywhere in Japan. On this trip, we took one of the scenic trains, the Yufuin no Mori, from Fukuoka to a small fairy tale-like place called the Yufuin Floral Village. Reaching Yufuin from Hakata Station takes 2 hours, making it the perfect day trip from Fukuoka. You will need to reserve your seats in advance, either online or in person at a JR station. And yes, the JR Pass covers the ticket for this train. We pre-booked our tickets online in advance, took the 9:17 a.m. train to Yufuin, and took the last train back to Hakata at 5:11 p.m. You can see more about how we spent our day in Yufuin in my Yufuin Floral Village vlog, which I'll link in the video description. A complete Yufuin travel guide is also available on my website, lifestylebyremi.com. On our first full day in Fukuoka, we took an hour-long train to Yanagawa, a city in southern Fukuoka known as the City of Water. Because of the canal waterways that run throughout, Yanagawa is also known as the Venice of Kyushu. I recommend eating the regional unagi dish, unagi no seromushi, and taking a boat tour down the canals. No reservation required. The next day we went to Fukuoka's largest Shinto shrine, Dazaifu Tenmangu, which enshrines the deity of learning, culture, and the arts. Many students come here to receive academic achievement, luck, and knowledge. It's the most popular shrine in Fukuoka, so I recommend getting there early and going on a weekday to beat the crowds. We spent a good amount of time wandering the shopping streets leading up to the shrine grounds and also the nearby neighborhoods. I go more in depth about what we ate and where we went in my dedicated Fukuoka vlog and guide, so make sure to check those out if you're interested in learning more. Later that night, we stopped by the Tenjin Christmas market, but it was so crowded we left quickly and got soba and tempura nearby. Tenzaru soba, which comes with this. That's umeboshi. On our final day in Fukuoka, we visited the reclining Buddha at the Nanzuin Temple. The temple is 20 minutes via train from Hakata Station and about 5 minutes from the nearest station. If you plan to visit, please remember that you're visiting a temple, not a sightseeing spot. There are signs all around asking visitors to be mindful of their noise level and to wear appropriate attire. After lunch near the temple, we head to Canal City, an impressive shopping center with an epic fountain and miscellaneous entertainment shows. There's always something happening here, making it a great spot to shop and relax. This concludes the Kyushu portion of this Japan trip. The next day we left for the Kansai region. Our first stop in the Kansai region is Osaka. Osaka is Japan's second largest metropolitan area, with Tokyo being the largest. It's known for its incredible food scene and lively areas for going out with friends. Osaka is the perfect stop to add to your trip. Its central location allows for easy access to some of Japan's most popular prefectures. We spent 5 nights in Osaka, took 3 day trips, and spent about a day and a half exploring Osaka itself. To get to Osaka from Fukuoka, we rode a 2.5-hour Shinkansen, from Hakata Station to Shin Osaka Station. After checking into our hotel in Osaka, we head directly to Dotonbori and the nearby shopping districts. The next day, we took a day trip to Kyoto to meet up with some friends. Kyoto is so easy to get to from Osaka. You can get there in as little as 15 to 45 minutes, depending on what train you take. We started the day at the popular shopping street leading up to Kiyomisadera Temple, strolled through Gion, and ended on a high note eating at No Name Ramen. Afterward, we head back to the hotel to do laundry and work. The next day, we took a day trip out to Nara. The fastest way to Nara is by a 35-minute limited rapid express from Osaka Namba to Kintetsu Nara Station. This limited rapid express requires an extra reserved ticket to be purchased on top of the regular base fare. The walk to Nara Deer Park from the station is about 10 minutes. We fed the deer, saw the Great Buddha at Todaiji, and stumbled into a fantastic pickled food buffet on the way back to the station. This is an excellent example of not needing to plan where you will eat in Japan. Yes, there are viral food places with fun experiences. However, some of my favorite food experiences were not planned in advance. Our final day trip from Osaka was to a port city across the bay from Osaka and Kyoto. Kobe is the third largest port in Japan and is known for its beef, crisp sake, and being home to one of Japan's 3 Chinatowns. You can get to Kobe in 30 minutes via train from Osaka. This was my first time visiting Kobe, and I looked forward to seeing how its port and Chinatowns differed from Nagasaki and Yokohama. We visited Chinatown, the port, and ended our day taking in the view from the Mount Roko Observatory. There is so much to see and do in Osaka, but by day 12, I was ready to have a slower day in Japan, especially since I've been to Osaka before. If you'd like to see more things to do in Osaka, I have more videos featuring Osaka on my channel. On this day, we visited the Umeda Sky Building, shopped, and ate revolving sushi at the Grand Front Osaka. After traveling for 2 weeks in Japan, we finally made it to one of my favorite prefectures and a must-visit if it's your first time in Japan, Kyoto. We spent 5 days and nights here. Getting to Kyoto from Osaka is really easy. You can take the Shinkansen and arrive within 15 minutes. On our first day, we ate lunch at the Underground Mall at Kyoto Station, checked into our hotel, and then scoped out the Pontocho district where we got hot pot for dinner. Whenever we change hotels, I always leave the day open to take it easy and rest, because traveling with luggage in Japan is always more tiring than expected. The next morning, we headed out to Fushimi Inari. We took the Keihan line, which is a convenient train for Kyoto sightseeing because it links some of the most popular destinations. Fushimi Inari will take up a good chunk of your day, especially if you plan to hike up to the top, which I highly recommend. The hike to the mountain's summit and back takes about 2 to 3 hours. However, visitors are free to walk as far as they wish before turning back. A popular place to stop and turn around is about 30 to 45 minutes up the trail, where you will reach an intersection with a nice view over Kyoto. Afterward, we headed to Kodaiji Temple, which I do not recommend doing in hindsight, given Fushimi Inari is a hike in itself. However, seeing the less crowded bamboo forest at Kodaiji Temple was well worth it. The next day was a dedicated, low-key cafe hopping day. during which I caught up on work and rested my feet from the day before. There is so much to do in Arashiyama alone. Every time I visit Kyoto, I dedicate an entire day to exploring things to do in the area. I recommend staying in Kyoto for at least 3 to 4 days if you can. The most popular destinations are spread out all over, and it takes time to visit each one. This is why I recommend planning your days based on districts. Our last day in Kyoto was a work from hotel day. It was work, rest, laundry, and pack. I have multiple Kyoto videos on my channel with itineraries similar to this one, but they go more in depth about each location and can show you how we broke up our other Kyoto adventures. So make sure to check those out on my channel and on my website. I think one of the best decisions we made was adding one stop before heading back to Tokyo from Kyoto. Kanazawa, the capital of the Ishikawa Prefecture, is a historical city with convenient access to Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto. It is sometimes referred to by people as Little Kyoto because of its traditional charm. The best way to Kanazawa from Kyoto is by the JR Thunderbird Limited Express, which takes a little over 2 hours. When purchasing your tickets, you can choose between reserved and unreserved seats. I always recommend getting reserved seats, especially if you have luggage. Kanazawa was our 7th stop on this trip through Japan. We spent 2 nights and 1.5 days here. After checking into our hotel, we hopped on the Kanazawa Loop bus, which stops at all the main sightseeing spots in Kanazawa. A 1-day pass is available to purchase if you plan to hop on and off the bus all day. Our first stop in Kanazawa was the historical tea house district, Higashichaya. It's the largest of 3 well-preserved entertainment districts in Japan, and it's a great place to stroll through and enjoy a historical Japanese townscape. You'll also see lots of souvenir shops specializing in gold leaf lacquerware, which, by the way, fun fact, Kanazawa is known as the City of Gold. The next day, we started off on a mission to find good coffee. And on the way to the cafe, we stopped at Omicho Market, the largest seafood market in Kanazawa. Then we made our way to the Nagamachi Samurai District, where we walked through samurai residences and the well-preserved historical neighborhood. Next, we went to the Kenrokuen Garden, a Japanese strolling garden that has been named one of Japan's most beautiful gardens. After, we walked to Kanazawa Castle Park, where we explored the castle grounds and admired the restored castle, which uses original construction techniques. From the castle grounds, we walked to the 21st Century Museum of Contemporary Art and explored the nearby art and design stores. I loved our visit to Kanazawa because it was a nice break from the mega touristy areas, and I enjoyed the beauty of historical and contemporary architecture all around the city. The next day, we ate breakfast at Kanazawa Station and then took a 3-hour Shinkansen from Kanazawa to Tokyo. I think it's an understatement to say that Tokyo Station can be overwhelming. This comes from someone who prides herself on getting around pretty well via the Tokyo Metro. There is a massive difference in foot traffic at Tokyo Station compared to other stations like Nagasaki, Kanazawa, or even Kyoto. So, this is a quick reminder to give yourself grace if you feel overwhelmed or anxious when you first get to Tokyo. It's okay. Take a deep breath and find a spot to the side where you can reorient yourself. After a long day, all we wanted to do was check into our hotel, walk around the nearby area, grab dinner, and go to sleep. The last 2 weeks of the trip were spent in Tokyo. And like I said earlier, this Tokyo portion can easily be culled down into a week or a week and a half because my focus was not just on sightseeing, but also on helping my dad find an area to live. So you'll see pockets of this itinerary that seem random because of this. I'll try to zip through this Tokyo leg since we have a lot of days to cover. So again, if you want to see more in-depth details about what we did each day, check out my Tokyo travel vlogs on my channel. On our first full day, I decided to lean into the kid in me and head to Sunshine City in Ikebukuro. If you're into Japanese pop culture and anime, Sunshine City is definitely a place to add to your Tokyo bucket list. It's a huge complex that's home to an entire floor dedicated just to Pokemon and additional floors for other character shops. After spending some time walking around, we headed to Ginza, where we window shopped and took in all the extravagant storefronts. The next day, I got my nails done in Shinjuku and worked from a cafe until lunch. Then, we headed to Yokohama to eat street food in the largest Chinatown in Japan and visited the winter Christmas market at the Red Brick Warehouse. I recently uploaded a dedicated video about my favorite places to visit in Yokohama. So check out that video if you're interested in adding Yokohama to your itinerary. If you're a Studio Ghibli fan, grabbing a Totoro cream puff from Shirohige's is a must. Not only are the cream puffs so incredibly cute, the pastry and filling are actually extremely tasty. Day 3 in Tokyo was supposed to be a dedicated workday, but before hunkering down, we stopped at Abara Soba in Shibuya, another favorite spot of mine. Day 4 was a dedicated shopping day in Tokyo. We started off in Shibuya at Parco, where we visited the Nintendo and Pokemon stores, then hopped over to Harajuku Takashita Street, and finally to Cat Street and Omotesando. All very fashionable areas in Tokyo that are located in close proximity to each other. The next day, I was exhausted from traveling, so my dad and I decided to walk around Tokyo without any plans. Our walk took us through the underground tunnels from Hibiya to Tokyo Station. Fun fact, you can walk underground tunnels to get from one station to another without ever having to go street level in Tokyo. Day 6, we moved to another hotel in Tokyo. This time, we stayed in Sumida City near the National Sumo Stadium. It was a fun place to stay because the Ryogoku station had sumo references all around the area. At night, we hopped over to Skytree, which was located nearby. I love visiting Tokyo Skytree and think it's a must-visit place in Tokyo because there are many places to buy unique Japanese souvenirs, popular character stores are there are great restaurants, and an incredible view of Tokyo from the top. I have a few videos featuring Tokyo Skytree on my channel if you want to see more. On day 7 in Tokyo, we spent the first half of the day in Asakusa, visiting Sensoji Temple and the shops on Nakamisedori Street. The crowds were a bit much, so we hopped on a bus to Yanaka Ginza, which has a more low-key local vibe. Afterward, we visited an area my dad was considering moving to, and then ended the night eating at a random seafood restaurant near our hotel in Sumida. As I mentioned earlier, one of my priorities in Tokyo was to help my dad scope out potential neighborhoods to live in. Day 8 in Tokyo was dedicated to this mission. After going to a meeting near Tokyo Station, I decided to explore the station a bit and then head over to Shibuya to shop and then get shabu-shabu for dinner. On day 10, we took a day trip to Kawagoe, a city known as Little Edo because of its scenic townscape, which will transport you back to feudal Japan. I personally come here for all the Japanese sweet potato snacks and street food the area is known for. A dedicated Kawagoe vlog and travel guide will be linked in the video description if you want more details about all the places we visited. I recommend dedicating a full or half day to Kawagoe. The next day, we ventured 30 minutes outside of Tokyo to Kawasaki. The area around Kawasaki Station is a shopping and entertainment district. We honestly didn't do much while here because we came on a whim. We just walked around, did more shopping, and ate delicious food. Finally, my last day in Tokyo was dedicated to hanging out with my dad and moving him into his new place. This month-long trip in Japan felt like a whirlwind. I left exhausted but so grateful for all the incredible core memories I made. This trip ended up being the start of my journey creating content here in Japan. It was on this trip that I had the epiphany that I wanted to dive deeper into the Japanese side of me. I am deeply grateful for all the amazing opportunities and trips since then, and I'm so excited for all that's to come on this channel. I can't wait to share the next wave of Japan travel series videos with you. We'll visit new prefectures, exciting museums and parks, try our hand at traditional crafts, and more. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel with notifications turned on so you know when new videos are available. Until next time.